In this lesson, we're looking at how to solve quadratic equations. Okay, so we said it has a quadratic equation if it's degree 2, if the highest thing you've got is an x squared, and they have two answers. And so have your steps in front of you. Step 1 is to bring everybody on the same side equal to 0. Okay, so we've got that in number 1, everybody's on the same side and 0's on the other. So then you want to factor what you got. All right, well, this is an easy trinomial. So what multiplies for 6 and adds for 5? Well, 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Which pair would add? Add for 5, because I circled a plus. You have to say add. And so that would be 2 and 3. And then same sign, and they're both positive. So once you get it factored, what you're going to do is draw a line like that. And you're going to say, all right, well, to multiply and get 0, either this one was equal to 0 or this one was equal to 0. You'll get two little bitty baby equations that are easy to solve. So over here I subtract 2, and over here I subtract 3. I don't know why I wrote a 2. 3. All right, so my two answers are x is negative 2 and x is negative 3. Okay. All right, so let's do this one. All right, on number 2, are the terms on the same side? No. So what happens to this 10x, positive 10x, when I move it across the equal mark? It becomes negative. You have to get everybody on the same side equal to 0. Okay. All right, well, when you factor, okay, the first thing you look for is a what? A GCF. So what could I take out here? I could take out a 5 and an x, and I'd be left with x minus 2. So again, you split them. You want your two answers. So you say either this one is equal to 0 or this one is equal to 0. So if I solve this one, I'm dividing both sides by 5. If I solve this one, I'm adding 2 to both sides. So x would be 0. 0 divided by 5 is 0. Or x would be 2. Alright, same thing here. They're not on the same side. So what happens to that positive 9 when I move it across? I get 25x squared minus 9 equals 0. Alright, there is no GCF. How many terms do you see? 2. Is it squares or cubes? And that's the difference of squares. Alright, splitting 25x squared into 5x and 9 into 3 and 3 and alternate those signs. Alright, and then you have your two little baby equations to solve and set to 0. So here I'm subtracting 3 and here I'm adding 3. So 5x equals a negative 3 and 5x equals a positive 3. And then on both of them I divide by 5. So my two answers would be a negative 3/5 and a positive 3/5. Okay. Alright, so let's look at this one. On this one I have this 5x has to go across, and so does this positive 2. So they'll switch signs, and I'll get a negative 5x and a negative 2 equal to 0. Okay? Alright, well, no GCF, and you are stuck with a hard trinomial. So let's get our magic number. Would be 3 times 2 would be 6. So that's 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Which pair subtracts for 5? Be careful. Only one of those pairs subtracts for 5. I have to use the 1 and the 6. So if I break down into 1x and 6x, okay, I circled a minus so they get opposite signs. So to get a negative 5, I need a negative 6 plus 1. Bring down your 3x squared and bring down your negative 2. And now let's group. Okay, so 3x squared plus x was the only thing they share in common, and x. So if I divide those both by x, I'm left with 3x plus 1. Alright, take out your negative. And if I, only number that goes in this 6 and 2 is 2. So if I take out a negative 2, I'm left with 3x plus 1. So we did it right. 3x plus 1 and x minus 2. So sometimes it feels like, oh wow, I've done all that work, I'm finished. But remember, you're going to draw that line and you're going to say either this one was 0 or this one was 0. So I'm subtracting 1 here and adding 2 here. So 3x is negative 1 and x is 2. So that one's solved, but this one I just still go a little bit further and divide. So I get a negative 1/3 and a positive 2. And then finally, this one looks completely funny, okay? What you have to do first is you have to simplify this side. And binomial times binomial, you FOIL it out. So let's do that. First one first. It's going to be x squared. Outside is a negative 5x. Inside is a positive 2x. And last times last is a negative 10. And then you know this 8's going to have to go over and be a negative 8. So let's clean up our like terms. We can put these together. And we can put these together. So a negative 5x plus 2x will give me a negative 3x. And a negative 10 and a negative 8 gives me a negative 18. Now, this looks much better. Okay, this one looks something like the first one we did. It's just an easy trinomial. I want to multiply for 18 and subtract for 3. So 18 is 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Which pair subtracts for 3? Good. 3 and 6. And when I circle a minus, they get opposite. So to get a negative 3, who gets the negative? The 6. And then you draw your line. So either this one was equal to 0 or this one was equal to 0. So here I'm subtracting 3 and here I'm adding 6. So my two answers are a negative 3 and a positive 6. Go try your homework.